Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Chapel Middle School at Home. My name is Ken Rawson, and I'm so glad to be here with you. Here at the Chapel, we exist to help students and families move one step closer to God and each other through Christ. This morning we have a great show for you. We have Joe Binkley's Dad Joke of the Week, and he has a little guest star with him today. I have this really cool video I'm going to show you about social media that I think is awesome and really supports what we're talking about in this brand new series that we're calling Big Picture. We're talking about Joseph. We're spending 5 weeks on his life, and I think it's going to be really powerful for you. So let's begin that with the Chapel Middle School Game of the Week. Hey everybody, welcome to the Chapel Middle School Game of the Week. Joe Binkley, you have a guest star with you.
I do. This is my son, Mac. Say hi, Mac.
Hi.
Mac, do you have a middle name?
What's your middle name? You know your name. What's your full name? Mac.
Daddy?
Mac Charles.
Aww, you named him after Pastor Charles. That's awesome.
I did, yes.
Hey, let's give away our prize from the people who commented from last week's video.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So it looks like we have Alex H, Sam T, Caitlin L. I don't know who that is. Ron Chapman, Ben M, Ken R, Joe B, and Pastor Todd and Pastor Eric.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
Okay, here it goes.
All right, Sam Toldy. Congratulations, Sam. Nice job, Sam Toldy. I think that's Sam's first win.
Great job.
All right. Hey, Mac, do you have a dad joke for us? It's time for your dad's dad joke of the week. Do you want to do it this week?
Do you have any good jokes? You don't think so? Do you want me to tell the joke? Okay. So, why did the cowboy buy a wiener dog, a dachshund?
Oh, I know this one. Do you know?
Yeah.
Why did the cowboy buy a wiener dog?
Because the sheriff told him to get along, little doggy.
Yeah.
I have another dog joke. You want to hear it?
Yes, please.
And it's another country themed or Western themed dog joke.
Thanks.
This dog walks into a saloon, and everybody looks at him, and he's a 3-legged dog, and he said, "I'm looking for the man who shot my paw."
Oh, what is that?
It's part of the game. It's part of the game.
Oh.
All right, Joe, what are we playing this week?
So one of the days, I can't remember which, there is a day in June that is National Take Your Dog to Work Day. Okay?
Oh.
So we are going to play a dog-themed game called... What?
Sun's out, guns out. I like this.
Do you have a dog?
We do have a dog.
All right, so I'm going to make you a deal, Ken. You and I are going to compete against each other. And if you beat me, I'm going to take a bite of this dog treat.
Oh, dude, you're going to eat it or just take a bite?
Just a bite. I can't. I'm not. If I eat it, I'll throw up.
We have a dog treat here in the shape of a hot dog. So if I lose, I will take a bite of this. But I'm about to dry heave just smelling it.
Okay, are you ready? I have not looked at this game, so...
All right.
All right, we're legitimately playing. Here we go. Ketchup is the most popular hot dog condiment.
Oh, boy.
True or false?
I'm scared to lose, Joe.
Well, I'm going... Mac, what do you think? True or false?
True! I know. Hey, we're going with our guesses, not my son's guess.
Yeah, I'm going with true.
Yeah, I'm going to say false.
Oh, no! Okay.
What a relief.
In New Zealand, they typically do not eat hot dogs in buns, but typically on a stick.
I will say true.
I'm going to say true as well. True. They batter it and eat it like a corn dog. Nice.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Okay, you got one, you got two, I've got one. Between Memorial Day and Labor Day, Americans consume 7 million hot dogs.
False. So much more.
True.
Yeah, it's got to be false.
True.
False. More like 7 billion.
I'm just
Okay.
guessing.
Still, I've got 2. You've got. Keep your own score. I've got 2.
I have 2. You have 1. I'm keeping your score.
No, I got the New Zealand one and this one.
Okay, so I'm up by 1. I'm just doing +1.
Okay. The Coney Island record for the most hot dogs and buns eaten are 72 in 10 minutes. I'm going with true.
I have been to Coney Island. I think it's more. I'm going to say it's false.
True. Yes.
Oh, dang it. Joey Chestnut, he's from San Jose, California, where I was born and raised.
3-3.
Oh,
Okay. Hot dogs have been eaten in space.
I'm going to say false.
No, true. I mean, no, pizza. No.
What do you think, Mac? True or false?
I don't know.
I don't think they would subject astronauts to that kind of torture.
False.
What did you say?
I said false.
I'm saying true. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no.
4. I have 4.
they've also
Oh.
eaten pizza in space.
Gross.
Pizza was
The
the
largest seller of hot dogs is 7-Eleven.
pizza was the first thing to eat in space.
I have 4.
No.
I'm going to say false.
I'm going to say false as well.
Oh, dang it. I could have equaled it
Gas
up.
station hot dogs are like, I can't tell you, whenever I've eaten it's true. Whenever I've eaten a gas station hot dog has not been a good point in my life.
Dude, I don't know. When I worked at a gas station, they were 100% beef hot dogs. They were delicious.
Okay, so I still have 4.
Yeah, you're still up by 1.
Okay, the world's most expensive hot dog is $89.
False. I say it's more like $389.
I'm going to say true.
No, it's false.
False. Dang.
Should have listened to your son.
It was. I told you it was false.
I should have listened to you.
Ooh, listen to that.
We're tied.
Butter teriyaki grilled onions. Did you read that?
No.
Go back.
Okay. Sold in
Oh.
Seattle, Washington. Cheese bratwurst was smothered in buddy, teriyaki grilled onions, maitake mushrooms, wagyu beef, foie gras, shaved black truffles, caviar, and Japanese mayonnaise on a brioche bun.
That sounds amazing.
That is some Gucci hot dog right there. All right,
All right, so we're tied.
we're tied. Yes, the longest hot dog ever made is over 1,000 feet long.
Why not?
True.
I say true.
True.
I'm going with true. Ooh,
False.
it's false.
Yeah.
Paraguay.
I won. I got.
Okay,
2
so we're
points.
still tied up.
That's one long intestine
I got
skin.
2 points.
Good job, Mary. All right, the businessman coined dog the phrase hot dog in I gotta move the little screen here. 1901.
I'm going to say false.
I'm gonna say true.
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 Ah,
Yes. Up by 1.
Come on, Joe.
Dash Hound.
I got
that's
2.
it's pronounced Dachshund.
Oh, Dotson.
Yeah.
A cartoonist named Tad Dorgan heard vendors selling red hot Dotson sausages at a
Dachshund.
baseball game
Yeah.
and drew a picture of a real Dotson covered in mustard.
Great.
He didn't know how to spell Dotson in his cartoon, so he captioned it, "Get your hot dog." Ha!
So you're up by 1 again.
Yep.
Mickey Mouse made a living selling hot dogs.
Nope. False. I've watched every Mickey Mouse.
I think it's false.
False.
I'm going to go true to go up by 2.
false.
Oh no.
Yes!
I thought he was a riverboat captain or something.
I can taste it in your mouth right now.
Ketchup.
Oh, Joe's doing it. Oh, gosh, that's disgusting. Oh, you're chewing it more than once. I thought you would just take a bite.
Sound.
You swallowed it?
Gross. No,
Oh.
not yet.
My word. All right, nice job, Joe. I say we send the winner some dog
For
treats.
this treat. Okay, so really, I'm just It's not that bad. It tastes like a cracker with no salt.
That's awesome. Thanks, Joe, for a great game and great dad jokes. You're the man. Have you ever heard the phrase bigger picture? Like you gotta see the big picture of something? Not like this. Let me give you an example. So here's a picture of Maverick that I took just a couple weeks ago, and doesn't look like a very exciting picture. There's my son Maverick, and he's holding a bag, and he's going up to a door, right? No big deal. So let me pull that back a little bit so you can see more of the picture, because that's not the whole picture. It's only part of it. All right, so now you see there's some lady on the side that Maverick's looking at, and it really is a house that he is pulling up to. Now, what you wouldn't know is that Maverick and I on Wednesdays deliver meals for Meals on Wheels. And this is one of the ladies that we deliver food to. So it's kind of cool. Here's Maverick on his own, and he's delivering this meal to this nice lady, right? Pretty cool. But it gets even better. So let me zoom out the picture again. If you notice, on the side of the picture is like that dark part. Well, that's actually the interior of our van. So here's what was happening is I kind of forced Maverick to come with me for Meals on Wheels, and he's never excited about it because, I don't know, he doesn't want to do it. He wants to play with his friends and be a kid and swim and have fun. He doesn't want to go do a service project or something like that. So it's always like a wrestling match to get him to do it. But at this moment, just moments before I took this picture, Maverick decided that he didn't need my help anymore, and that he not only was going to just deliver these bags of food to this lady, but that he was going to do it on his own and he didn't need me. And so I was scrambling to take a picture. I was in the driver's seat of my car and Maverick was over here. And so I'm like, oh my word, trying to take the picture. It was such a meaningful moment to me that here was Maverick, you know, developing a heart for serving others. And I love that. So if all you saw was this picture, you wouldn't have near the context of this picture or the story behind it, because you only see one part of it, but you don't see the bigger picture. I don't know what you've been doing to keep busy during this coronavirus, but my oldest daughter, Sierra, has taken up this really cool new hobby. So this is what it looks like up close. Doesn't really look like a whole much, right? Like some random dots or whatever. But then when you zoom out, you can see this awesome picture of the Eiffel Tower. I love that. It's such a perfect example of this idea that sometimes we only see part of the picture, but we need to see the bigger picture. Over the next 5 weeks, we're going to be sharing what many consider to be the second most important story event of the Bible. The first one being obviously Jesus, his birth, his death, his resurrection. But the second one you probably wouldn't know, and that's the story of Joseph. We're calling this series Big Picture because, as you'll see, you don't always get to see the big picture. Things happen in our lives and we don't know why they happen. We don't have answers for them. Like, why did my dad die when I was just a baby? Why did my mom abuse me? Why did George Floyd have to die? Why do people think it's okay to loot stores and burn buildings and cars when it comes to protesting? And probably the question we're all wondering is, why can't the Browns recruit a good team or good coaches? What's the deal? For some of these questions, we are never going to know the answer, especially the Browns. It can be hard to see the big picture. It can be frustrating not knowing what's going on or how it all fits together. So what do you do when nothing makes sense or things aren't adding up? What do you do when you can't see the big picture? For the next 5 weeks, we're going to be taking a look at the life of Joseph. Hey, and if you want to get a jump start on Joseph, you can go to Netflix and watch the movie Joseph, King of Dreams. It's been 20 years, but I think I remember it being a pretty okay movie. So let's talk about Joseph. He was from a big family. He had a lot of brothers. Any idea how many? Yeah, 10. Can you imagine having 10 older brothers? Like being the littlest among 10? That is crazy. Like that's its own set of problems and stressors right there. So one thing that's true about families, even way back in Joseph's time and in families nowadays, is that relationships can be tricky. With that being said, let's take a look at some of the situations that made Joseph's family relationships a bit difficult. So this is from Genesis chapter 37. This is what it says. When Joseph was 17 years old, he often tended his father's flocks. He worked for his half-brothers. So first of all, Joseph's brothers are not like full brothers, they're half-brothers. So for me, my family, my brother and sister are both my half-brother and sister. They both share a dad, but it's a different dad than me. We both have the same mom. And I don't think, I've never considered them anything different than just my brother and sister because I didn't know anything different. But there is a difference between us that they hold memories and relationships different than I do. Like they have a whole memory of and knowledge of who their dad is, and they have a relationship with their dad, whereas I don't have a dad. Like I didn't have a birth dad. I have a stepdad who is my dad, but I never really knew my own birth dad. And so they obviously are going to be closer to each other than me. So that's the first situation we have with Joseph. The scripture continues, but Joseph reported to his father some of the bad things his brothers were doing. Little brothers, right? Am I right? I am that little brother. Dude, tattletaling, man, that does not help your relationship at all. So that is something that was not helping, right? Because who wants it? Who likes a tattletale? Jacob, this is Joseph's dad, Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his children because Joseph had been born to him in his old age. So one day, Jacob had a special gift made for Joseph, a beautiful robe. So Jacob had Joseph when he was an old man, and that brings his own special things, right? Because like, he's already raised 10 boys, and now he has a chance to like take all that knowledge and have another chance at raising a good kid. And so Joseph is really, really special to him, like so special that he had a special robe made. Like, that'd be pretty awesome if you're Joseph, but like if you're one of the brothers, maybe that's not so cool. Like, can you imagine like your little brother like is so special to your dad that like your dad just randomly buys him things? Hey son, here's the Lego Millennium Falcon. Here is the newest, most expensive set of Beats headphones ever. I just picked up this new iPhone for you. And you were sitting around with like your flip phone or whatever, right? You're gonna be like pretty frustrated at your dad and frustrated at your little brother for being the special one, the favored one, right? That is going in to this situation here. But his brothers hated Joseph because their father loved him more than the rest of them, and they couldn't say a kind word to him. I mean, good night. Couldn't say a kind word. They hated him. So in this next part of the story, Joseph is going to do something to make his brothers hate him even more. And I can't even figure out like why he's doing it. Like, why does he do this? It's always good when you're reading the Bible to be thinking through, why did this happen? And kind of relating to sometimes your own experience of what you know about life. So like for me, I'm going, hey, Joseph is desperate for his brother's attention. Like he wants to be one of the boys and he always feels like left out. He knows that his brothers don't like him, but he wants to be in the group. He wants to be liked. So maybe he thinks, I'll do this and it'll get them to really like me. Or B, Joseph is like a little jerk. Like he's treating his brothers the way he's been treated. Like they're gonna be mean to him, so he's gonna be mean even more. Like you don't like me? Well fine, well check this out. I'm gonna do this to you. Or the third option is that Joseph is not very smart. Like he just does the dumbest thing ever. So it's probably not that. It's probably one or two. Well, it's either the first one or the second one, probably not the third one, but I wonder, maybe Joseph just wasn't very smart. Well, you'll have to decide for yourself. The passage continues, one night Joseph had a dream, and when he told his brothers about it, they hated him more than ever. See, I told you. Listen to this dream, he said. We were out in the field tying up bundles of grain. Suddenly, my bundle stood up and your bundles all gathered around and bowed low before mine. So first of all, let's talk about this. What was a bundle of grain? So a bundle of grain today would look like this or this, but probably in Joseph's day, it looked like this. And so he's sitting there saying, you know, hey, we were all in the field bundling up grain, and my grain stood up nice and tall, and all your guys' bowed to mine. Is that crazy or what? Well, here's the deal. Back in those days, like if someone had a dream, it wasn't just like I ate something bad and had a weird dream that last night. Like dreams in those days were like predictions of the future. Like if you had a dream that you were talking about, you were basically saying, I had a dream that this is gonna happen one day. But basically this is what Joseph was saying. Hey guys, I had a dream that one day you are all going to bow to me. What? What are you doing, Joseph? Like they must have been in a fight or something and like cussing at each other or doing something. And like while he was walking away, he's like, oh yeah, well I had a dream. We were all out in the field and my bundle of grain stood up and your guys bowed down to me. What do you think of that? You want some of this? I will send my grain on you. So his brothers responded just the way you would have responded. So you think you will be our king, do you? Do you actually think you will reign over us? And they hated him all the more because of his dreams and the way he talked about them. Oh yeah, I have some dreams, right? I'm gonna be your king, gonna be your king. I don't know what he did, but clearly something that was annoying. So then Joseph does this not once. Are you ready? He does it twice. Twice, 2 times. The passage continues. Soon Joseph had another dream, and again he told his brothers about it. Listen, I've had another dream, he said. The sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed low before me. Hey, not just one dream, but 2. You guys all bowed before me. Yeah, that's not gonna win you any points. But instead of just telling his brothers, he decided to tell his dad this time as well. This time, he told the dream to his father as well as to his brothers, but his father scolded him. What kind of dream is that? He asked. Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow to the ground before you? But while his brothers were jealous of Joseph, his father wondered what the dreams meant. Okay, so let's step back and talk big picture. 1, Joseph's dad, Jacob, clearly did not see the big picture about how favoring Joseph was going to affect his sons or his sons' relationship with Joseph, right? He must not have thought through saying, this is not going to be a good, I probably should not buy him the best iPhone and leave everyone else out. That's not a good idea. 2, Joseph's brothers probably didn't see the big picture about how they treated Joseph. Like they didn't see how much their hatred for him was going to affect their relationship. And finally, Joseph didn't see the big picture either about how being a tattletale and how talking about these dreams was going to affect his relationships, right? So Jacob's kind of in his own story and Joseph's brothers are in their own story, and here is Joseph in his own story. And because they're all so focused on their own stories, they're not seeing the big picture of everything that's happening. Okay, so what does this all mean? What do dreams and all this family drama have to do with us? So here's the big idea for today. When we can't see the bigger picture, we should remember the impact we have on our families. When you can't see the bigger picture, you should remember the impact you have on your family. So what does this look like? How do we start to see the big picture about how our actions affect our family? Well, let me give you 2 steps. The first one is this: be aware. Be aware. Be aware of how your actions are impacting other people. Start by asking yourself these questions. How is the way I'm acting affecting my family? How can I put my family first? What do I need to give up or put aside to serve my family? How can I show love to my family? And what can I do to put my family's needs before my own? Listen, paying attention to how our actions affect other people's lives is really difficult. This is not an easy thing I'm asking you to do because we all have blind spots. We can't see everything. And so I want to encourage you to do, if you're like thinking through, how can I do these things? And you're not coming up with anything, it's okay. Like, that's totally normal. You may not know. And so that's a good time to ask an older brother or older sister or a parent and just ask them, hey, what are some things that you're seeing in me that is negatively affecting our family? And that takes courage. Ask them to help you see something in yourself that you're not able to see. Here's the second thing I want you to do. Take a step. Take a step. You know, here at the chapel, we exist to help you move one step closer to God and each other through Christ. Well, this is one of those ways of moving one step closer to each other, to your most important others, that's your family. Take one step towards changing that thing in yourself or to be more aware of how it may affect others, and then take a step to change that. Maybe the way you speak to your younger siblings, like you're pretty harsh with them and pretty short and you get upset easily. Maybe you need to think through, why am I doing that? And how can I change it? I'm not trying to be a jerk, I'm not trying to get upset, but I just get frazzled and I just speak to them that way. Think about that and think of how can you change that? What can you do to be different? Maybe you leave your clothes or your shoes or just the stuff you're out messing with. Maybe you just leave that out thinking that your parents will clean up after you. So maybe you need to practice more self-awareness of picking up after yourself. Or maybe you need to control your temper when you get angry or frustrated or upset. Whatever it is, pause and think about what you're doing and how it's affecting others. Look at how you're impacting the bigger picture and move to make it better. Remember our big idea today, when you can't see the big picture, remember the impact you have on your family. And as we finish up this morning, I want to encourage you to think about this question. What's one way I might be causing conflict or tension in my family? What's one way I may be causing conflict or tension in my family? All right, that's it for us. We hope you have an amazing week. We can't wait to see you. Bless you.